The portfolio allocation has finally happened in Maharashtra. It took close to a month for this formality to get done with, and there are several reasons for this. Now, the winter session recently ended, and on the last day of winter session, when Devendra Fadnavis was asked about the portfolio distribution, he very slyly replied that it might take place today evening, that is on the last day of the assembly session, or the next morning. But it is indeed taken place on the very last day of the winter assembly session, and one expected major changes in this particular distribution, considering that Eknath Shinde was demanding reportedly for Home Ministry, and there was also a lot of questions being asked about Ajit Pawar holding on to his Finance Ministry as well. But there are not a lot of surprises in the kind of allocation that has taken place. When you look at the major distribution or major portfolios, Devendra Fadnavis firstly has been successful in making sure that he retains Home Ministry. Now, Home Ministry is something that Devendra Fadnavis has never let go of away from him. You know, in 2014, when he became the Chief Minister, and even later when he had to serve as a Deputy Chief Minister under Eknath Shinde, he made sure that what is also referred to as the most important portfolio in the state, Home Ministry, stays with him. Now, a major contention this time around was that when Eknath Shinde was reportedly disappointed with not being offered the Chief Ministerial position, he wanted to have the Home Ministerial position. But we can see that the bargains and the negotiations and the series of meetings have worked in the favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party, as they've been able to keep Home Ministry with themselves. But that doesn't mean that Eknath Shinde would be left too disappointed as well, because 3 of the major portfolios or departments are with him, be it housing, be it urban development, or even public works department. Now, these departments or these portfolios put Eknath Shinde in direct contact with the urban populace of the state. And why does that become important? Well, because a lot of civic society elections are going to take place in the next few months. Be it Bombay, be it BMC, be it Pune, be it Nashik, and a lot other urban places as well, where Eknath Shinde would be trying his level best to make sure that his party, spreads itself across the state. And besides that, he's also had a lot of experience working as an urban development minister as well. If you remember, in the MVA government under Uddhav Thackeray, Eknath Shinde was the UD minister, and this time around as well, he will continue to be so. The second deputy chief minister, that is Ajit Pawar, retains finance, and that is a big victory for him, because there were also reports about how Eknath Shinde is wanted finance to be taken away from Ajit Pawar if he does not get Home Ministry or Chief Ministerial position, considering that his party would become a tertiary party in this entire equation. But Ajit Pawar has been successful in making sure that he just does not retain the Finance and Planning Ministry with himself, but he also got the excise department into his kitty, which was with Shinde Sena earlier. Now, when you look at the overall portfolio distribution, there do not seem to be major changes, except for the likes of Chhagan Bhujbal, Sudhir Mungantiwar, all of these senior leaders, Deepak Kesarkar, who are not a part of the cabinet this time around. Their ministries have been distributed amongst the other leaders. But there are a few leaders and there are a few ministers whose, ministries and portfolios is a little interesting. When you look at Chandrasekhar Bawankule. Now, Bawankule had served as a minister in the 2014 cabinet of Devendra Fadnavis. Then he was denied a ticket in 2019. He served as the state unit president of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And it was a fairly successful campaign, Of course, the party could not do very well in the Lok Sabha elections, but a lot of credit is given to Bawankule when it comes to mobilizing the troops of the Bharatiya Janata Party before the Vidhan Sabha election. Now, he is also one of the close aides of Devendra Fadnavis, and we can see that he has been rewarded for the hard work that he put in, as he will be having revenue, which was with Vikhe Patil earlier. Now, Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil, again, another senior Bharatiya Janata Party leader, was the revenue minister last time around, and we were seeing how he was very adamant about retaining that important portfolio, and he had even planned or even arranged some meetings with the top with the top brass of the Bharatiya Janata Party and NDA in Delhi. But it seems that Devendra Fadnavis, the chief minister, has had the last word in this, has been able to keep this ministry in his close circle. Now, when you look at this entire situation, what becomes more interesting is the kind of ministries that certain controversial faces have received. And one example would be that of Dhananjay Munde. Now, Dhananjay Munde there was a lot of speculation over Dhananjay Munde holding any sort of ministerial position, especially because of what is happening in Bid. We're seeing that the prime accused there, whose name has also been taken by the Chief Minister in the Vidhan Sabha, is a close associate of Dhananjay Munde. And there were a lot of questions about Dhananjay Munde continuing as a minister this time around. But Ajit Pawar has put a lot of faith in him, considering that he's a very close aide of Ajit Pawar. And Devendra Fadnavis, as the Chief Minister as well, has made sure that Dhananjay Munde retains his ministry. Although he'll not be holding on to agriculture, which was with him, but he will be taking care of the consumer protection and food ministries, which again is a very crucial portfolio when you talk about Maharashtra. We have someone like Ashish Shelar, who again will be the minister for the first time in this Mahayuti 2.0 government. He was the Mumbai Bharatiya Janata Party unit chief earlier, and for his stupendous work, especially before the Vidhan Sabha election, we can see that he is again been rewarded, just like Baban Kule, with a ministerial portfolio. But he's gotten culture, of course, and information and technology. Now, culture may not necessarily be one of the top-notch ministerial berths, but when you talk about information technology, that is IT, now that is something that Devendra Fadnavis himself held earlier. And considering the kind of plans that the Mahayuti, or especially the Bharatiya Janata Party, had in their portfolio or in their manifesto before the elections, they talked a lot about creating jobs with the help of with the IT. They also talked about creating a lot of IT parks across the state, be it Nashik, be it Nagpur, or even expanding it to the Vidarbha or Marathwada region. And in the backdrop of this entire development, this particular ministerial position becomes very crucial, and that is where Ashish Shelar might become very important. We have the likes of Manikrao Kokate as well, who has become the minister for the first time this time around, and in his first stint, he will serve as the agriculture minister of the state. Now, he comes from Sinnar, Nashik, and this place becomes very crucial because in the Lok Sabha elections, we saw that the Bharatiya Janata Party was bit hard because of the onion issue in the northern Maharashtra region, especially in the Nashik and the close-by region. Now, they've given agriculture ministry to someone who comes from that region. So, it is again one of those tactics being used by not just Ajit Pawar, but also by Devendra Fadnavis in making sure that they cater to different leaders, across the state, so that they can also make sure that the regional equations are taken care of. While this development has happened, the opposition says that it took too long for the government to name the portfolios, considering that the winter session already came to an end. And one thing that the opposition was consistently attacking the government over was how it took so long. We had Aditya Thackeray, we had Nana Patole, and even Vijay Vedettiwar talk about how they did not know whom to address the matters in the state because the portfolio distribution took that long. But it seems that the Bharatiya Janata Party has played a wait game to make sure that they satisfy all their alliance partners and do not necessarily reach to any prompt conclusion which would leave any of them dissatisfied. With camera person Sachin Sawan, this is Anuj Rai reporting for NDTV from Mumbai.